Everyone's talking about AI hallucinations. MiAi Law tackled them at the root with law, not tricks. Let's be honest. Large language models don't hallucinate, they calculate. When they generate a fluent but false legal answer, that's not confusion. That is statistical extrapolation from imperfect context, sparse data, or high sampling temperature. It's expected behavior in any probabilistic system, but in law, expected behavior isn't good enough. Most legal systems, legacy or modern, just wrap LLMs around search engines. They retrieve documents, feed them to a model, and hope for a usable summary that doesn't reason. They mirror law, they don't model it. That's not solving the hallucination problem. That's wallpaper over cracked logic. At MiAi Law, we've done something no one else has. We have embedded first principles legal reasoning into the architecture. Our system doesn't just sound like it knows the law, it demonstrates it. With MiAi Law, you choose how you research. Get quick, authoritative answers to simple queries, deep research reports when you need every detail, or instant case summaries right when you need them. MiAi also has a contract review suite that will assess any contract for risk and legal issues from first principles. Now let's start with case summarization. Every other AI system collapses multiple judgments into one fuzzy output. MiAi preserves the structure of legal reasoning. Majority, concurring, and dissenting views are segmented. Ratio is distinguished from obiter. Citations are verified against real paragraph references when available, page references when not. You don't get a blur of AI prose. You get a judgment broken down like a trained legal scholar would do it, only faster. Then there's deep research. When you're exploring an unsettled question, say the interaction of contract and equity or an evolving constitutional doctrine, MiAi Law doesn't just pull up results. We trace the doctrinal logic through case law, precedent chains, and statutory interpretation. MiAi understands when reasoning is binding, when it's persuasive, and when it's silent. This is important because it means that MiAi Law does not fail when presented with a novel factual scenario, as we can reason from first principles. No other system handles ambiguity like this because no other system was designed to think in law's language. We also reveal the entire reasoning process and all of the cases that have been extracted to answer the question. Pinpoint references are also provided. Of course, not every task requires deep scaffolding. Sometimes you just want a quick scan. Our light research mode gives you fluency with fallback constraints. It doesn't guess, it cites. It refuses to answer if grounding can't be verified. That's how we protect trust, even when speed is the priority. Furthermore, our reasoning process is revealed, and all of the source material that has been extracted to answer each research question is also revealed to the user, even in light mode. Then we come to legislation research. Most tools still treat legislation like text to research. MiAi reads it as a system. We parse definitions, cross-references, and interpretive clauses in context. MiAi Law will show you not just a section, but the legislative logic behind it backed by case law. That's what it means to model statutory structure, not just index it. On the private law side, MiAi handles contract review with the same integrity. Most tools in the market just label provisions. They might red flag a clause because, for example, the indemnity clause is inconsistent with the precedent. But they don't tell you whether the difference is good or bad, needs amendment, or is incomplete. MiAi Law does. Everything is reasoned from first principles. We assess for internal consistency, missing obligations, risk exposure by jurisdiction or regulatory overlay. We have built two modes of contract analyses, each designed for a different kind of lawyer, an audit feature and a contract summarization tool. Light mode is built for in-house counsel. It gives you a neat executive summary, the much desired colored flags, as well as a fast, digestible report on the risks that matter and why. Missing obligations, unusual terms, and compliance gaps are identified. Deep mode is for drafting, negotiation, and even preparation for hearing to identify where things went wrong. MiAi Law doesn't just flag clauses, it stress tests the entire document. If the termination clause contradicts the dispute resolution clause, this is identified. If a jurisdiction clause creates regulatory exposure, you'll know instantly. This isn't a red flagging tool, it's a drafting partner. In our audit feature, defined terms are recursively read in, cross-references are checked to identify ambiguities and redundancies. And finally, the contract summary. Think of this as a deal memo. parties, term, payment, liability caps, governing law, all extracted and structured. A clear digest you can hand to executives who don't have time to read 100 pages of boilerplate. This is not automation, it's analytical acceleration. Everything you do in MiAi Law is logged and stored in your history. Need to pull up yesterday's case summary? Filter by date. Want to review that case assessment from last week? Filter by document type. Your entire research journey is archived, searchable, and reusable. No more hunting through email chains or folders. And for complete transparency, every task comes with a process log. You'll see exactly the status of your research query and the final status. You can run multiple research steps in tandem, and the process log will help you keep track of the status of each process. The output button will link you directly to the file output when the process is complete. With MiAi Law, you're not just getting an answer. You're getting law explained, modeled, and reasoned, exactly as a lawyer would, only faster. Our legal AI research partner thinks like a lawyer and cites like a scholar, and this allows you to lead with confidence. And let's be clear, we didn't build a chatbot with legal flavor. We built a legal reasoning system. So why hasn't anyone else done this? Why haven't the giants of legal tech delivered verifiable reasoning-based AI? It's simple. They wrapped AI around legacy systems. We rewrote the system around legal reasoning. They rely upon retrieval and summarization. We rely on structured legal logic. And yes, there's a personal reason too. I built this from scratch because not only do I have deep legal expertise, but I can also code, and I can therefore reduce all of the legal reasoning logic down to an algorithm and ultimately into code. I didn't need to wait for vendor APIs or prompt consultants. I wrote the reasoning engine myself with the legal structure baked in. And that's how we got here first. And that's why our answers don't just sound correct, they are correct, with traceable reasoning you can cite. This isn't an interface improvement, it's a jurisprudential rethink expressed through code. We still use the term hallucination because users recognize it, but internally we have solved a deeper problem: how to make law-based AI answers verifiable, traceable, and defensible. MiAi Law does not just guess the law, it reasons from it. Thank you for your consideration.